Good morning. My name's Ron Kaplan from the Newport Restaurant Expose. Also, we are running on our platform, foodjunkies.com. And also, we run a other show, and that's the Roadie Takeout Report by Ron Robert. And that report, we go in, get some takeout, and go back to our facilities and check it out and stream a video about the takeout report. So today we have a very special guest. His name is Jared Arbeck, and he's from Red's Best Seafood. And he's born with gills. I don't think he has lungs. He's been in the fishing business for many, many years. And I'm going to bring him in right now, and he's going to tell you about his business. He's running a business, fish wholesale business. He unloads fishing boats. He has a fish market, mail order business. So without further ado, I'll bring Jared in.
Hey, Ron.
Morning, Jared. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to speak with you.
Nice to see you. And how's things going?
This is going well. Beautiful day. Nice weather for January. Boats were all out last week. We had a good patch. Right after New Year's, it was kind of windy, and then we had a good stretch of landings. So we've been busy, actually.
It's windy today.
Yeah. Now it's coming up, but the last 7, we're working on the fish that was all landed coming up on the wind. So
tell us a little bit how you do it. You unload boats, you have a fish market, you have a mail order business.
Yeah, so Red's Best does a lot, and we've been intentional about trying to increase the touch points to give consumer access to this fish. But at our core, we're unloading boats, right? So what that means is there's commercial fishermen up and down the coast. These guys go out, they go fishing. When they come in, they want to basically get the fish off their boat, then do gear work or go home and get a good night's sleep. We're there at the dock. We meet them at the dock. We physically unload the boat. That's a lot of hard work. We have guys on the dock. We're doing it, this is 24/7, 365. We'll be there at 2 a.m. in a blizzard or whenever they need us. Take possession of their fish, and then it's our job to sell the fish. So we aggregate all the fish in Boston, our headquarters on the fish pier, and we're shipping this product all over the world to wholesalers who are then breaking it down further and bringing it to the nicest restaurants and retail shops in those cities that we're shipping to. So every day we have product going to Texas, California, New York City, and downtown Boston, everywhere in between.
As you know, during COVID, Rhode Island opened up fishermen to sell direct to the public. Did Massachusetts do anything like that?
Yeah, they did. The Division of Marine Fisheries in Massachusetts is a group. It's a really tremendous organization. It's really well run, and they're very responsive. They really care, right? And they have a hard job. They have to balance, the needs of the ecosystem with the needs of the humans, and they do a really good job of listening to both sides. So they did an emergency action. They issued permits for the boats to sell direct, and that was really cool to see.
Nice. Yeah, it was very nice. I think the biggest challenge with that is the fishermen I know in Rhode Island were selling whole fish, and a lot of people, it's certain, don't know how to fillet fish and work with it and stuff. So that would be the challenge. What did you feel was your biggest challenge during COVID?
Well, to quickly touch on that, I mean, that's our job, right? That's where Red's Best comes in. Red's Best is the platform that can take that fish, report it, ice it, do everything you have to do and process it, right? It takes a lot of people. This is only a portion of the hardworking men and women at Red's Best you see in this picture, but, right, we're there. We're the platform to bridge that gap between all these fishermen and you, right? Because sure, there's issues with you bringing home a whole fish, but that's only so scalable, right? You have to live within a certain distance from the dock to be able to access those fishermen directly. And that's where Red's Best comes in. So anyway, touching on COVID, it was really dark times. I mean, Ron and I have known each other for many years in the seafood world. And there's just no getting around the fact that local high-end fish is very dependent on restaurant demand, right? Red's Best, we don't sell restaurants directly, but it's all, we're all tied together. And when restaurants shut down, we're just demolished. It went from we're just pretty much lights out. I mean, we as a group, we've grown a really strong, tight knit company, and we all rallied around each other in those dark days. And we've always been first and foremost committed to the boats, right? So we had to be there at the dock when they landed. And we all just kind of did our best and pitched in and made it through.
Nice. So basically, I can go online and I can buy fish and have it shipped directly to my house. Like that's correct?
Yeah. So as I explained, Red's Best is really like the primary unloader of these fishing boats, right? So in a normal world, historically, right, consumers don't have access to our level of the supply chain. When COVID hit, it was partly out of survival, right? We didn't have restaurants to send the fish to, but it was also, to support the community, right? If you recall, like, people rightfully so were worried about food supplies and access to healthy food. Hey, if there's a global pandemic, there's no time it's more important than to be eating healthy, and eating seafood consistently is one of the the healthiest things you can do for your mind and your body. So we scrambled and said, all right, we have to be able to get this fish to the people. And we sort of redid our entire processing plant and formed it in a way where we could break down the fish, fully process it, portion it, and put it in these retail packs. We invested in some really, really, really high-end freezing technology to be able to preserve that freshness that we get right off the dock in a retail pack, and we started growing from there. So yeah, you can buy it direct off our website, but there's many other touch points and other companies that are offering our fish where consumers can get access.
All right, before we get into what we call the Pick 10, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Back with you. It's Ron Kaplan and Jared Auerbach from Red's Best, and this is the New England Restaurant Expose. So, Jared, let's talk about Pick 10. What's that?
Yeah, so it's, as I was saying, it's always been our goal to just connect people to what we see on the docks every day, right? So e-commerce, we sort of dove in head first when we had to, when kind of everything was unraveling in the early days of the pandemic. We want to find ways to feed people consistently, right? Like, it's easy for me to build a website where you're going to buy something for a special occasion. My dream has always been to find a way to help local people eat local seafood 3, 4, 7 nights a week, 52 weeks a year for the rest of your life. So what we started doing is, as I said, we immediately converted our processing plant. When the supply chains broke down, we had to be there for the boats. So we're there, and we would unload the boats and immediately take it in, process it, break it down, freeze it. And then, so now we have this stuff for sale, and we want to access consumers. So we built this really cool thing to build a bundle. So you can pick any 10 items from our inventory and build a 10-pound box and have it shipped with free shipping direct to your door. So to me, that's a step forward. That's a way. I am a customer, right? So my family and I, this is what we eat for dinner consistently all the time, and it makes me feel great. So yeah, you go online, you see our inventory. There's probably 30 different local items up there. Select what you want. You build the box, it gets shipped to you. Then a couple of days, you get it, put it in your freezer, and you have this amazing supply of fish. Really, really high quality with a great a lot of different items, which is, that's what's cool about our local oceans. We handle probably 30, 60 or more items every day, from the oddest items that people don't even realize we're selling around here, like sea urchins and monkfish livers, razor clams. Ron, you've been in our warehouse, you see it. It's like every type of finfish, shellfish, if it swims or crawls or lives in the ocean and it's legally harvested, it's coming through Red's Best. And again, we're buying direct off the boats, so you really can't beat the quality.
So you refuse nothing off the boat?
Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, Ron. That's always been something for us. I think so. Years ago, there's this sort of concept of, like, they call it the trash fish or underutilized fish, and we take that really seriously, right? I'm really, really proud of how our oceans are regulated. That's important to me as a human as much as it is as the CEO of Red's Best. I'm really proud of the regulatory bodies, and I'm just proud to live in the United States, where, although we're a free market capitalist society, we actually don't let free markets dictate how we harvest the ocean. We let science and reason and, like, the better good of for all of us dictate how we harvest it. It's something I'm really proud of. But my role in that, right, is, okay, so the scientists make all these rules on what we can harvest and can't harvest. It's my role as the platform in between the ocean and the people to find a home for all of that legally harvested fish. So yeah, to your point, we don't refuse anything that they land. We're taking, and we're finding a home for it. So if we're shipping monkfish livers to Tokyo or blood clams to Chinatown, we're taking it, we're finding a home for it. And also, we take our responsibility to the commercial fishermen really seriously, right? At our core, we're providing a service to these really hardworking men and women. I got into the industry because of an admiration and respect for these men and women who make a living harvesting seafood for all of us to enjoy. So it's our job to find a home for the fish that they land, and to do a good job matchmaking that supply with demand out there. And we take that responsibility really seriously, from, top to bottom in our company. That's our priority.
So you're not only landing and buying fish in Boston, New Bedford, Gloucester, the Cape.
Yeah, I'd say our honey hole is probably, South Shore, South Coast, Cape Cod, and the islands. But Red's Best has grown a lot over the years. 2008, it was me in a little van, and pre-COVID, we had, we're pushing on 100 employees, and we have trucks all up and down the coast, and relationships with fishermen from Canada to Florida right now. So again, something we're really proud of, and so, we've been deliberate about it, and we take that responsibility really seriously as the people handling that fish. And there's nothing that makes me personally more proud than building these programs where I can connect real people in the community directly to this fish. It's just, it's been my dream, all along, and it's finally, now it's finally available.
So basically, with today's technology, these fishermen can basically call you, a day before when they're steaming in, and tell you what's on their boat, and you can go pre-sell it.
Yeah, so we built some really cool technology in-house. So right, we have dispatchers, and we're in constant communication with the boats as they're fishing. And right, some of them are really planned out, and they're going out the day before and communicating. Some just show up at the dock. I mean, we have we'll go up to Ipswich today and buy 10 pounds of razor clams from somebody. We're handling a lot of different transactions, but we built some technology that gives us real-time insight into what's coming off the boats onto the dock. So we have trucks and docks all spread out around the area interacting with fishermen. We have real-time information on what's coming in, so we can, again, start matching that supply and demand and being intelligent about how we do that, while the fish is still sitting in traffic, as we say.
And what about sustainability? Big word today, big buzzword. Who decides what is sustainable?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think that people have an outdated knowledge base about seafood, and that's okay, right? The oceans are dynamic. We're dealing with Mother Nature. Things are changing. Things are cyclical. But the fact of the matter is seafood landed, finfish and shellfish landed in the United States, if it's legally harvested, you can really count on the fact that it's very well managed to be fished at a sustainable level. That's a federal law. The Magnuson-Stevens Act says that all seafood harvested in the United States needs to be fished at a sustainable level using best available science. So there's really smart people making really hard decisions, right? I mean, let's face it, we don't know exactly how many fish are in the ocean, and that's what's exciting about it, right? That's there's romance in that, right? We're harvesting a wild natural resource. But we have really smart people making these decisions for the benefit of the long-term sustainability of these fish. And I think it's something we should be proud of, right? Like, I take a lot of pride in it, but I think everybody listening to this podcast, I just really hope that, or this show, I really hope that you can take a moment and share some of that pride. Like, as a community, we've taken these tremendous steps to rebuild our fish stocks and to harvest them at sustainable levels. Like, I go to sleep at night really proud of the fact that I know almost for certain that my kids and my grandkids are going to be able to enjoy this resource, both, harvesting it, fishing for it, but also consuming it, right? Because it's so healthy and it makes you feel so good. As I said, both mentally and physically. So look, are all these decisions going to be perfect? No, right? We're humans. We're fallible. We make mistakes, right? But really smart people are making a lot of decisions, and you can't argue with the success, right? Like, go out in a boat and look around. Our local fisheries are doing really, really well. Like, I spend a lot of time on the water just when I'm not working, and I'm amazed by what I see. Giant bluefin tuna and sharks and whales and dolphins and seals and turtles and lobsters and all sorts of, the bluefin tuna fishing around here is bananas. Huge 1,000-pound bluefin swimming right along our shores. And yeah, it saddens me when the reality is positive and the perception is negative. It's just, with everything going on in the world, I think it's a missed opportunity of something to be really prideful and proud of as a community.
Good. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's tough to say, nobody's jumping in the ocean counting all the fish for sustainability, but you know what? You see the fishing boats coming in every day and they're landing fish, and, there's fish out there, and they're reproducing. I believe
Right.
that too. I believe that too. All right, we're going to take one more break and then get into sushi and talk about what sushi's all about and your sushi program. Okay, we're back with Jared Auerbach from Red's Best on the New England Restaurant Expose. So over my 25, 30 years in this business, it's always been the sushi thing. And I'll let you get into it, but, there's a lot of different takes out there, but there's really only one real answer, I believe.
That's right. I'll start with the answer and then I'll give a little context. But the answer is, to eat good sushi fish, you got to start with the best fish on the planet, and it has to be super frozen using ultra low temp freezer, right? It kills all the parasites, it preserves the freshness, and it's actually better that way. So I'll be honest, before we invested in this technology, we'd have a nice piece of fish, nice bluefin or a striped bass in our shop, and I would take it home and I'd eat it raw. Now that I've seen what our freezers that we invested in can do, I will never do that again. I'm personally addicted to this product we created. But so starting with the answer, like, look at that picture. I mean, that fish is perfect. That was frozen immediately after it was processed at there's a picture of our freezers, but we blast freeze them. We're holding these at negative 120 degrees. Sometimes it really is negative 122 degrees, right? So that fish, this sushi fish, this is one of the things I'm most proud of all the stuff.
Fish is gorgeous.
In my career, right? Look at that. I mean, we're literally sending people fish to their houses that they can, you can prepare a sushi meal or a sashimi meal at your house that is on par with any of the best sushi restaurants in the world. So again, that's starting with the answer, but here's the context. The reality is like, we're unloading the boats. We're the first people to touch these giant bluefin tuna. We're shipping bluefin tuna whole to Tokyo, to Japan, to be auctioned off. We're shipping tuna to the best sushi distributors in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York City, Chicago. The top of the top of the top are getting these fish from us, right? Again, it's always been my dream to connect what we do to the people, right? Give the community access to this fish that we're unloading off of these fishermen who are amazing people, really compelling people. It's how it started, but still to this day, after everything we've been through, I just have this real admiration and respect for these fishermen who harvest these fish and really care about the ocean, care about the quality of fish. So this project's something I've always dreamed about, and we finally sort of took the leap. And look at that piece of Toro. It's making my mouth water. So we invested in this really, really, really high-end freezing technology, and we're putting up, they're called saku blocks in the trade, but we put up little blocks. You can kind of see that was cut, but we put up these little blocks and we ship them to you, and it's perfect. So you can just take it, on a nice knife, but you can cut your own sashimi or roll your own sushi at your house. So something I'm really psyched about. And again, I also happen to be my own best customer.
So shipping on any of your products throughout the United States
is
free.
Free shipping. It's all free shipping. Yeah. So again, there's a million ways to skin the cat when it comes to e-commerce, but for us, it's really just about connecting people to our resource, right? Sharing what we do with the world. So we wanted to keep it simple. We built this bundler stuff on our webpage. So you build a box and we ship it to you for free. And again, the goal is we're trying to find a way, and give us feedback if you have it, but like, the goal is not to give you, it's not only to give you that fancy sushi experience on a Friday night when the week's done. Like, I want to give you, the people, the ability to eat fish 3, 4, 5 nights a week. And I'm telling you, take my word for it. Try committing to increasing the seafood in your diet, and give that 4 or 5 weeks, and you'll never go back. It's unmistakable, the positive impact it has, again, physically and mentally. There's a mental health component to eating seafood that I really, believe in. And again, try it. Try it. It's middle of January. You're feeling down. The days are short. We got all this COVID and politics and all this stuff. There's probably a lot of ways to feel better. Try committing to a seafood diet, and I promise you'll feel better.
So tell me something. So the box arrives at my door, put everything in the freezer. People get all, they start to freak out about sushi items. How do I defrost it? How do I, thaw it out? Do I put it on the counter, put it in the fridge for 24 hours? Do I run it under cold water? What's your suggestion?
So I eat the sushi fish right away. You have a week of shelf life in your freezer. Your freezer at home is not negative 122 degrees, right? But you'll still have a week of shelf life in your freezer. You want to take it out and thaw it out as quickly as possible and eat it as quickly as you can eat it, right? You don't want to thaw it to where it's warm. You don't want it to get too much over, 32, 35 degrees. But thaw it as quick as possible. So what I personally do, I just leave it out on the counter. I actually don't let it thaw out completely. So it's a little frozen, so I know that it's not warm. And I have some really good knives and decent knife skills, but it's actually easier to cut when it's still a little like a little,
Firm.
yeah, I get firm, right? So then you have no health scares because something like tuna, you can't get it warm. It'll taste fine, but tuna is a histamine fish, as you know, Ron. So it can, but with this stuff, you'll be fine. It's been frozen. It was super fresh when it was frozen. It was frozen so low. There's absolutely no parasites or anything in it, and you can really feel safe eating it raw, which is incredible. People have this perception that if it's blessed by a sushi restaurant that you can eat it raw, but if it's something that is provided somewhere else, you can't. But
I'd rather eat this
yeah, look at
negative
that, right? I
122
mean, come
degrees.
on.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
gorgeous. That's
And
absolutely gorgeous.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you do the sushi kit also. You
yep,
sell this also.
yep. We sell that. That's something I buy also, right? So I like to personally, I'll do like a plate of sashimi and then I'll do a couple rolls. So um, we offer this kit where you can get all, the wasabi, the soy, the rice with instructions on how to cook good sushi rice because
That's the art.
yeah. I'll tell you, my personal hack is I'm often lazy and I'll just go to the local sushi restaurant and buy.
By the rice.
I'll just hey, get some edamame and 3 things of sushi rice. The local guy probably thinks I'm crazy, but uh, that's my little hack for that. Yeah, and you're putting it
There you
up
go.
here. We've added a lot of cool stuff to the website. There's raw bar stuff. You can order lobsters. Again, it's just we're continually adding to it. And it's just us opening our doors to the public. It's saying like, here's what's going on the docks. Here's what's happening, and here's how you can have access to it.
So you do a full line of shellfish. You do lobsters.
Yeah.
Also, yes, you do the caviar also
Start
for
adding
the
some caviar from our friends, and yeah, some cool domestic caviars.
nice. Just talk about this a minute. Everybody talks about the omega threes. In fact, somebody called me. A friend of mine called me about, they were gonna, they want to know about omega threes and what fishes, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one of the collections we did is the omega-3. We've been having fun sort of building collections and again, just looking for ways to connect with our community, right? And give people access to this amazing stuff we have. I don't know the science behind it, right? So certainly, seafood has omega-3s and that's part of what contributes to what I keep emphasizing is my belief in the mental health benefits of eating the seafood diet. I'll tell you, Ron, I don't know if it's the omega-3s or what it is, but I just sort of listen to I pay attention, right? And I see a direct correlation between personally when I eat seafood and how I feel physically and mentally.
You have 3 kids. You bringing your kids up on seafood?
Trying that.
The chicken fingers
That
work a
one
little better.
perfectly.
The chicken
Yeah,
fingers work a little better.
although we do offer really cool pre-breaded haddock. So haddock's a great local species, really, really abundant right now in our local waters. So we pre-bread it and make it really easy. Cook from frozen. So that's a good kind of entry level way to get your kids to eat fish. And if you have kids, you're probably really busy and scrambling around. So it's really easy to cook. You just bake it, cook from frozen. That's a good item. So sort of trying to get my kids to start with that, but
And
been done.
you do gift cards, e-gift cards.
Yeah, and that's been great. What better gift than to give somebody access to healthy seafood?
And talk about this. Yeah, there are other options other than having it
Yeah.
sent to your door.
Yeah, so if you're local, you can come down to the fish pier. We started inviting people to our place on the fish pier in Boston. It's over 110 or so old fish pier right in the heart of downtown Boston. We have a retail market in the Boston public market that's open again, but when COVID when the shutdowns and stuff first started, the market closed. So we had a lot of local consumers that were dependent on us to eat. And we just sort of scrambled and opened our doors at the fish pier at our headquarters so people can come down and pick up fish directly from there. And again, that's something we're so proud of, right? It's all, we're able to open our doors and bring people in and give them access direct on the Boston Fish Pier to local seafood. What's cooler than that?
No, that is cool.
Yeah.
So we got a few major holidays coming up that are going to look a lot different this year, I think. Number one, Valentine's Day. Do you have anything special planned for your
Sushi.
mail order business? Sushi. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Get a sushi pack. You will not be disappointed. I'm all I've done since graduating college is seafood. I know the seafood industry. This is the best product I've ever seen. You will not be disappointed. You'll be blown away, and you'll blow away your friends or your wife or your husband on
Good.
Valentine's Day.
And what do you think Lent looks like this year? A lot different as far as maybe people will be doing more mail order, cooking their own fish rather than always going out and picking it up.
Yeah, we'll be busy. We're always busy around Lent. Lent's a good thing for the seafood industry as a whole, and we anticipate we'll be busy this year. And yeah, as you pointed out, it's 2021. There's a lot of options on how to access food, and that's exciting for me, right? As somebody who I'm in an industry that I love, that I'm proud of, and it's nice. I live in 2021, so there's a million ways to give people access to what we do. So, yeah.
And personally, do you fish yourself?
Yes, that's how I got into this. So I started out commercial fishing and then sort of worked my way through the industry and ended up starting Red's Best. I love to fish. I have a little center console. I keep it in Boston. I kind of target everything. Caught a couple bluefin this summer. Like to fluke fish, striper, bluefish, everything.
Talk to me lastly about the seasonality of fishes and what season, when the water gets really warm up in the New England area, what's going on. And, we know fish like the cold water.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of seafood, and especially where we live in New England, is we have really diverse options, and it changes, so it stays exciting. So, yeah, there's seasonality to fish. My big thing that I push on people is just be flexible in what you eat, right? Especially to shopping our stuff, like you will not be disappointed, right? So don't be afraid to get outside of the box. If your recipe calls for cod, try haddock or hake or pollock or redfish or flounder. Um, look up a monkfish recipe and try monkfish. Buy some skate wings, right? Skate is a huge local item for the fishermen and a delicacy. The best restaurants in France, in Paris, they're eating our skate. Give it a try. It's easy to cook and you'll like it. So I really encourage people, be flexible in what you consume, and that empowers the fishermen and us in the middle to, to just sort of take what Mother Nature gives us and be, sort of interact more appropriately with Mother Nature, and then to have a community that will like accept that on the other end is really, that's what we're shooting for. That's our goal.
And to your point, hake is a great white fish.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, it's not a sexy name, and a lot of people, don't go near it for that reason. But if you're looking for a nice, flaky white fish, hake is a great fish.
Hake's great. Pollock's great. Skate, redfish. I mean, try it all. Flounders. There's all different types of flounders around here. Be flexible, be open-minded, try it. You won't be disappointed. And check out our website, right? We're intentionally offering everything, right? And our hope is that people aren't just going on to buy the haddock, which you can, but get outside the box and try it. You won't be disappointed. We have processed clams. So Red's Best, we have our main headquarters is in Boston. That's where we're shipping all over the world from there. We also have a facility in New Bedford. We have a 70,000-pound capacity lobster tank, and we have one of the few facilities in the state, really in the whole region, where you can process shellfish. That takes a lot of build out to do. But so we process shellfish there. So we're shucking quahogs and surf clams, and you can buy that clam meat for a pasta dish or other stuff on our website. We're proud to offer that. We have soft shell crabs up there, crab legs, you name it. So yeah, it's been really exciting to share that with people.
One other thing, if you're not, if you're new to seafood and you want to try it. One of Jared's great partners is the New England Country Mart, a home delivery service,
Yeah,
and you can just buy a serving of haddock, a serving of salmon. Personally, we're customers. We got some haddock and salmon this week, and
great.
if you don't want to jump in and buy it all at once. You could try the traditional fishes, and as you get more into it, you can go to Jared's website and get into the sushi program and the shellfish and things like that. So that's another way, newenglandcountrymart.com. It's
Yeah,
a great home delivery service and great people and phenomenal operation. All right, Jared. Well, nice having you. This is Jared Auerbach from Red's Best, and I'm Ron Kaplan from the New England Restaurant Expose. And you can find us on the foodjunkies.com website, and it's food, JUNKEYZ website. And we also have another platform produced by Ron Robert. It's the Roadie Takeout Report. If you'd like to be on our show, my show, or Ron's show, get a hold of me and at info.rilocalfoodie.com. And thanks for tuning in today, Jared. Thank you very much. Have a great
thanks, Ron.
weekend. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye
Nice to
now.
see you, Ron. Thank you.
Good seeing you. Bye bye.